Good day. Welcome to another episode of the Butchered it almost. Welcome to another episode of Thrown in the Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's get into it. I saw where the Grizzlies blew a 29-point lead. I'm sorry. I know I'm here in Memphis, but Grizzlies, you blew a 29-point lead. And I know Ja Morant got injured, okay? But you blew a 29-point lead, okay? You could have at least played even, okay? With the 29-point lead. That's what most teams do. No? That's what most teams do. You have like a 29-point lead. You play even for the rest of the game. You probably end up winning by 18, okay? So, but yeah. The Grizzlies blew a 29-point lead to fall behind 3-0 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, okay, I'm done. So, that made me think back, okay? That made me think back to some of the largest comebacks in NBA history, not only in the regular season, but also in the NBA playoffs, okay? Let's start with the regular season, okay? The Sacramento Kings, they had the second biggest comeback in NBA history back in 2009, okay? And I know recently there was a team that came back from 35 points down, but, you know, I don't watch much NBA today, if at all. But I do know there was a team that recently came back from 35 recently. The Sacramento Kings, they had the second biggest comeback from 35 points down versus the Chicago Bulls in 2009. They were down 35 in the third quarter with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. But all of a sudden, the Kings came back. So they led 79-44 with 8:50 left in the third. 83-50. 2 minutes later, then the Kings went on a 19-5 run. Trailed 88-69. And there were two guys who had to come back. Tyreke Evans and Ime Udoka. Yes, that same Ime Udoka. Yes, that same Houston Rockets coach, Udoka, okay? Former NBA player. He was part of the comeback, okay? Ime Udoka scored 15 of the Kings' 22 points in the fourth quarter to cut it to 95-91 with 2:28 remaining, okay? So Tyreke Evans then outscored the Bulls by himself, 9-3. Tyreke Evans converted a 3-point play, and after a dang free throw, Evans had a foul shot, scored on a 22-footer. Later it was 99-96. Derrick Rose hit 2 free throws. Then he missed the layup. Tyreke Evans hit a foul shot. The game was pretty much over by then. A guy by the name of Bino Udrich, who played for the Kings, clinched it, okay? Luol Deng said they relaxed. They had defensive mistakes. The Bulls shot 76% in the first quarter and had no turnovers, led 67-43 at the half, and then went on a 12-1 run at the start of the second half. Okay? So, Vinny Del Negro had this to say, because he coached the Bulls at that time. Vinny Del Negro had this to say. Del Negro said, "This one stings. Stop being aggressive. Got a little complacent. Jumped on it, and the Kings jumped on it. It's not good enough to take a minute off. Never mind a whole half off." Okay. I would disagree with Vinny Del Negro on this one thing right here. the Bulls didn't get a little complacent. They got way complacent. Okay, because you gotta be. It takes a. It takes a. I mean, okay, you could be a little complacent with a 35-point lead, and you can still end up winning by 18. Okay, or 20. Okay, but you can't be a little complacent and blow a 35-point lead. Okay, you have to be overly complacent to blow a 35-point lead. Okay, you got to be overly complacent to blow a 35-point lead. Okay, and that's exactly what the Bulls did. Blowing a 35-point lead. Okay, now the biggest comeback in NBA history. Well, that honor belongs to the Utah Jazz, believe it or not. They were playing the Denver Nuggets. It was the start of the 1996-97 season, right? And they were playing the Denver Nuggets in November, okay, at home. And they trailed at one point in the second quarter, 70-34. Okay, they trailed the Denver Nuggets 70-34. Okay, so they were down by as much as 36. Okay, and they trailed 70-36 at halftime. Okay, so they were down by 36, trailed by 34. Okay, but the Nuggets at that time, being the Nuggets, if you know what I mean, you blow a 36-point lead and lose the game 107-103 to the Utah Jazz. How is that possible? How is that possible? You blow a 36-point lead. You're leading the Utah Jazz with Malone and Stockton and Jerry Sloan. You were leading them by as much as 36. And you lose the game 107-103. Go figure. Right? Anyway. So, again, the Grizzlies blew a 29-point lead, right? So I thought about the so this takes me back to 1989, the 1989 Western Conference semifinals, okay, where the Lakers were playing the Seattle SuperSonics, okay, and they're down 3-0, right? The Sonics are down 3-0, and they came out in Game 4 like gangbusters. The Sonics came out in Game 4 like gangbusters, okay. They were playing like they didn't want to be swept. And the Lakers were down by as much as 29 points. Okay. At one point in the second quarter, the Lakers were down 43-14. And in case you just didn't hear me, they trailed by 29 after 14 minutes of action. And in the second quarter, the Sonics led 43-14. I kid you not. Then the Lakers went on a run, a 22-6 run in the final 8 minutes. Okay. And then in the midst of going on that 22-6 run, they also outscored the Sonics in the midst of that 22-6 run, 16-0 in the final 5 minutes and 20 seconds. They cut the lead to 11 by half. Okay. So they went from trailing by 29 earlier in the second quarter to them being down by 11 at halftime. Okay. Then they went on an 18-6 run in the fourth quarter. And they took their first lead with 6 minutes and 14 seconds left. Okay. Then AC Green hit some big shots. James Worthy hit a 3-pointer, hit some key free throws. They got some defensive stops. Worthy had 33 points on 15 of 19. Magic, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Michael Thompson had 15 points off the bench. Orlando Woolridge played well. Dale Ellis led the Sonics with 28 points. Riley actually benched his starters at one point. Okay, Pat Riley actually benched his starters at one point in the game. 29-point comeback by the Lakers. Yeah. Not only did that 29-point comeback happen, they also swept the Sonics in the process, right?
Most feared gunslingers were defending their championship. Led by their top gun, Magic Johnson, they too had swept through round one and up 3-0 now look to bury Seattle. With their backs against the wall, Derek McKee and Xavier McDaniel came out with guns blazing as Seattle built a seemingly insurmountable 29-point second quarter lead. But Magic specializes in the unthinkable. Deftly marshaling LA's offense, he began to turn a blowout into a hotly contested showdown. And explosive James Worthy was the first to respond. And as the rest of the cylinders clicked for the LA Express, the furious comeback was almost complete. Double drive underneath, he got slammed in left-handed. Oh, what a play! With demoralizing ease, the Lakers had shifted gears, leaving the Sonics in the dust and dramatically sweeping their way through the first 2 rounds.
We just did a great job of coming back, so now we move on.
To the Western Conference.
Yeah. So when I heard the Grizzlies lower 29-point lead and lost, that made me think of a topic: the biggest blown leads in regular season and postseason. Obviously the Sonics lost a 29-point lead, got swept. Jazz, the biggest comeback in NBA history, and the Sacramento Kings' second biggest comeback in NBA history up until that time in 2009. Okay, so yeah, all right, that's it. And that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. May God bless you with many blessings. Peace.